I got these ribs in 2 different Walden orders. I've been saving them because if I'm going to make them, I'd rather make 2 at the same time because they take a while. So I'll be putting these pork ribs into the crock pot with some salt, pepper, garlic, and let that go for a little while, and then I'll add barbecue sauce. And I may put the ribs back into the oven at the end with some barbecue sauce to get it nice and caramely. All right, we'll see how this goes. He's doing dishes, so you might hear him in the background, but here is here's the ribs with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And then I have this Paleo Primal Kitchen barbecue sauce. It was like $3.24 or something, half price. So I'll add some of this as it's cooking, and I may actually add a little bit of molasses to bring a little bit of sweetness into it. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to put it on low. It's about 12 o'clock. If I see that it's not cooking fast enough, I may switch it to high. So I have had this buttercup squash for way too long, and this side is soft and kind of going bad. I'm going to try to salvage it and just cut that part off, and hopefully we can roast that for dinner. Alright, I cut off the bad part, and other than this little part that I'll need to cut out, it's totally fine, so that's great. Tonight I'm also going to roast some of this broccoli with some garlic powder, salt, pepper, and olive oil, and then at the end I'll put Parmesan and lemon juice on it. It's so good. I got almost 2 pounds of broccoli for 94 cents because they must have had too much, because nothing's wrong with it. Normally the reduced produce, either they have too much and they're trying to get rid of it, or, you know, it's going to be bad pretty soon, but this looks totally fine. Nothing wrong with it, and I'm going to roast it up. Dinner for Sunday is all done. Here are the ribs. Definitely enough for leftovers. This is the lemon parmesan garlic roasted broccoli and the roasted buttercup squash, and it all looks delicious. It is Monday, Martin Luther King Day. We do not have, I don't have work today. My husband has work today. But I'm making use of my time. I'm going to finally catch up on editing some videos, do some cleaning. I went and dropped off some clothing recycling, some donations, some appliance recycling, and plastic bags that needed to be recycled. And then I stopped at Shaw's and used a coupon that I had and got some good clearance deals. And now it's 1:30, but I'm going to make this bread so that I can have some lunch, and we'll also have some with dinner. I'm making unstuffed cabbage for dinner. So I think I got this from Thrive Market, but then I never ended up using it. It says Best By September 2022, so definitely need to use this up. I'm sure it's fine. There's a few different ways you can do this. You can do a flatbread, dinner rolls, or a loaf, and I am going to do, I'm looking at what cooks the fastest. So, flatbread, I'm not really sold on. I think I'm going to make dinner rolls because it takes 25 minutes. And if I made the loaf of bread, it would take an hour. So, and dinner rolls will be great with our unstuffed cabbage. So, and I can also do them with some tuna salad. Trying to think if I want to wait that long. I'm pretty hungry. I might pull some frozen gluten-free pita bread out of the freezer to do with the tuna salad, and just make the loaf, because the loaf is easier. It will cook a longer time though. What do I want to do? I decided on the dinner rolls, but for lunch I probably won't be having these because I'm quite hungry. But they actually get cooked in like a little muffin tin and come out looking like this. So that's what I'll be doing. And it says I can sprinkle with grated cheese, rosemary, and sea salt. And I might do that because I have some Parmesan cheese and rosemary on hand. So let's see how it goes. Putting a little bit of Italian seasoning and some Parmesan that I had on top. I was pretty messy about filling this, but they'll still come out fine. And yep, so this was good because it used up a little bit more, and the recipe called for 3 tablespoons of vinegar, and I've been trying to use up that just has a little bit of the mother in it. It's a raw apple cider vinegar, but I have another whole bottle of this, and I hate having something with just this little left hanging around. So that was good. Started to use up my vinegar, and I will get this in the oven. So for lunch today, I'm using some of this sweet pickle relish, some mayonnaise, some minced onions, and then a can of tuna from my pantry. And then I have some of these Against the Grain pita breads in my freezer, and they are getting quite freezer burnt. So I don't know if I'm going to eat 2, but I am toasting up 2 just to get them out of there. If I have any left over, I'll pop it in the fridge for another time. And this one that I have left will go back in the freezer for another lunch. My toasted gluten-free pitas and my tuna salad. And that's my lunch for today. Okay, today's effort to use things up, I am making unstuffed cabbage. So, things that I had on hand, I had this ground beef I got with my Walden order. I had to buy these, the small tomato sauce and the petite diced tomatoes. I didn't have any, and I had to buy the cabbage. I have these reduced zucchini that really need to go, so I'll try to get one of those into there. This celery is looking really sad, but there's some of it that's still good, so I'll use up the celery. Parsley left over from a recipe, that eggplant recipe last week, the week before, I can't remember. I think it was last week. So it's a little wilted, but it'll still be good, so that's a use it up. A few really sad carrots that need to go, so I'll use those up. From the freezer, these are some onions that I have frozen from our garden this summer. And I have some garden garlic. If that's not enough onion, I do have another onion I can add to it. For seasoning, salt, pepper. I have this Italian seasoning, and I'm not sure what else I'll add. I'll show you sort of what I'm doing along the way. This is not going to be a tutorial video, just showing you what we are using up. So see how, like, this is definitely going to have to come off, but these leaves in the inside, if I wash them up, they'll be totally fine and add some nice flavor. All right, so here we go. Let's see how quick I can put this together. So in here, I have olive oil, a little bit of olive oil to get it going. I have that frozen thing of onions. I added another onion. I have 2 cloves of homegrown garlic, and what was left of the celery, which was mostly just the celery heart, so some leaves and a little bit of stem. I did have to get rid of 3 ribs of celery, but that's fine. Use this up. I also added salt, pepper, and a little bit of Italian seasoning. I'll be adding more of those seasonings as I go. Right now, I'm going to chop up the carrots, zucchini, just the carrots and zucchini, get that in here, and then I'll chop up the cabbage. So you can see these carrots are not great, but I will just cut off all the bad parts. That goes in the compost, so it's really not a total waste. And then I'll peel these and cut them up really small so that they cook quickly. everything in there cooking up. And now I'm going to get the cabbage and the parsley cut up. I am going to also get those cans of tomatoes opened up. So this is a huge cabbage. I mean, I have tiny hands, but this is a very huge cabbage. I am just going to peel off the outer leaves and I don't know, probably use like a quarter, a third of this. And then the rest can be for other recipes. I'm thinking I might make some sauerkraut, since I do have everything I need to do fermenting here. And I have done it before and it's really good. I actually haven't, my farm stand that I get my sauerkraut at has been closed. So closed for the season. And I haven't gone to the winter farmer's market. So making some out of my own sauerkraut seems like a good plan. So let's see, maybe about that much. It really doesn't have to be that much cabbage. Once you cut it up, it does make a lot. Cabbage goes a long way, so that's probably more than enough. So I will take this part and wrap it back in the plastic wrap that it came in. And yep, I used about a third of it. There were a lot of leaves that needed to go, so it does look a lot smaller, but that will be for something else. Here is the unstuffed cabbage. It's very hot right now, but it is going to cool while I'm at yoga class and be ready when I get back. And then biscuits, or rather dinner rolls, the grain-free dinner rolls that I made earlier from that box mix that needed to be used up. And we'll have those with the unstuffed cabbage, and it should be delicious. It is Wednesday. No, it is not Wednesday. Getting ahead of myself. It is Tuesday, January 17th. I had some frozen carnitas that I had made a big batch of, I don't know, a couple months ago and froze. So I pulled some of those out, added a little bit of water to get it going, sauteed it with some olive oil. There's the carnitas. I think it's seasoned with onion, cumin, salt, pepper, garlic. So that's good. I'm getting a little bit low on rice, which is great. Well, not low on rice. I have plenty of rice, but not the type of rice that I want. So this is telling me a lot more about what type of rice to stock up on. For some reason, I have tons of sushi rice. That is not quite what I want. But it is what we have and it is what we're using. So here is some rice that I need to cook for like 20 minutes after it comes to a boil. We also have almond flour tortillas that we can make carnitas tacos with if we want. I'll probably do a bowl. Here is some salsa, sliced jalapenos, sour cream, guacamole, and I had half a tomato left, so I cut that up. We can put fresh tomato on the bowl for something fresh. I also have a few different types of hot sauce. I just took out Frank's Red Hot, and I think that's it. So that'll be delicious. I'm having leftovers for dinner. I'm having carnitas, a carnitas rice bowl with some guac and salsa on top. But I am making a stir fry so that we have food left in the fridge because we only have a little bit of the carnitas left and a little bit of the unstuffed cabbage. So I am using up the rest of this. It's probably about a pound of this reduced broccoli. Still looking great. Not sure why it was on reduced, but you know what? I will take the win. I will take the savings. And so I have this whole container of broccoli I'm going to wash up and steam up. And then I'm going to also add in this Peking stir fry vegetable. Try to bulk it up with lots of veggies. And then I have this grass-fed beef that was a deal I have never seen. Fabulous. It was in my deep freezer. $3.91 for almost a pound of this grass-fed sirloin steak. It is a little tough, so when you cut it up in a stir fry, it's great. I'll probably put some garlic, coconut aminos, ginger. Not really sure what else in the stir fry, and I'll show you when it's all done. I'm also going to look at my cabinet and I think I might have a thing of water chestnuts that we can add in. I'll have to look. Do have this can. I actually have 2 cans of these water chestnuts that are not expired, surprisingly. Is there even an expiration date on here, actually? No idea. But they're totally fine. So we will use these as well. This week has been exhausting, but we're getting through it. It's great. They're framing the house. Lots of things are getting done. Working on stuff, getting stuff in the house situated. Lots of dishes. Lots of dishes. Washing machine was broken. Got that squared away. So, yeah. It is Friday, the 20th of January. Yesterday, my husband got home and, whatever we had for leftovers, he had already eaten some for lunch, so he wanted something different. I said we had this pizza that I got 50% off in the freezer, and he made that up, and I ended up having the leftovers for lunch today, so that worked out really well. Last night I had just the gluten-free little breakfast sandwich thing I picked up at the same time I picked this up, because I wasn't super hungry and did not have time to cook. I got home very late because of a storm we were having. So that was yesterday. My husband brought the leftover stir fry for lunch, and I think he ate another piece of pizza or something. So all that's left is 1 piece of pizza in our fridge. I took out chicken to make, but it is still frozen. So I have this can of chickpea and kale soup that I am going to eat, and my husband said he will make breakfast for dinner when he gets home. We often are not home on the same schedule, so unfortunately dinner together is sometimes only on weekends, but we make the best of it. So I'm going to do this kale and chickpea soup with Indian spices and see how it is. I've never tried it before, but I can eat it, and if it needs some other stuff, I have like sour cream, I have some cheese, I don't know what I'll want, hot sauce. I have things I could put with it, but I also have 2 of those biscuits that I made earlier this week that I could have with this. That sounds actually like a good plan. The dinner rolls or biscuits or whatever they are. So I'm just going to cook this up, and that will be my dinner.